Hello, audience, and welcome to another tier list video. Today, I'm going to be wrapping up 2020. We have my previous tier list for the first half of the year here on the screen right now. Words are difficult sometimes. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and then we're going to go into adding the rest of the books I read in 2020. Spoiler alert, did not read as many in the second half of the year. But let's go ahead and go on and do a quick review, see what books I've changed my mind on since I did the first half of the year tier list video. The S tier, I actually think I'm going to pull two of them out. I know, relax, chill, we're good, but I'm actually going to move Jade City to the top of A, as well as Sword of Kaigen. Those two are going there. They're going to sit at the top of A, except Sword of Kaigen's going to go there, and that's fine. It's good. It's still great. It's still top tier of the A tier. A lot of praise there. That's where I'm going to put them. Because S tier, I just feel like I want to have a little bit of a higher bar for. And Leviathan Wakes is Leviathan Wakes. And it deserves to be an S tier still. Oh, I love it all the more the further I get into the Expanse. Now we're going to go ahead and move into the A. What do I want to change up here? Not too much. I actually am pretty solid with how I feel about the A tier. Then moving on into B, this I pretty much largely stand by. Bloody Rose, it was just so much fun. It deserves to be at the top of B. I think I'm pretty solid with this right there. Maybe some of these Malazans I want to rearrange, but gosh, they blend in my head, which is strange because they're like all different stories in a way, you know what I'm saying? C tier, pretty solid with, don't want to change much there, except I do want to bring Scythe up a little bit to there, because while I still didn't love it, I respect it. It did a decent job. D tier is still D tier, and No is still No. It's a bad author. So let's go ahead and kick it into the latest books, the books that are finishing off the year 2020. My God, when you're watching this video, it actually is the end of the year. It's been a ride, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead and actually start with the last book I reviewed here for you on the channel in 2020, and that's going to be Neuromancer. Neuromancer for me is going to be high A. I dug this boy so much. It's just an addictive world with so much personality and gorgeous themes. Maybe a little heavy-handed at times, but I just love the way this book is written and how it felt, despite the shallower characters and iffy motivations. So I'm going to put it just below Three Body Problem right there. God, that was a good boy right there. Parable of the Talents was the sequel to Parable of the Sower, and I think it's just the same quality of the first. I think Octavia Butler is one of the greatest minds the sci-fi genre has had just off these two works. And boy, oh boy, did I love that sequel. Even though the first one's in front, just consider them one because they're equally great. Next up, we have Heaven's River by Dennis Taylor. That's right. I remembered right off the top of my head. Show some respect. Smash the nuclear bomb the like button. Goblin Clan. I'm a soulless hack. I'm gonna put this probably top of B. I feel that there. It's not high literature, you know. He does hit on some ideas pretty well. I love Bob Verse, and this was a solid Bob Verse book. Do I want to put in low A? No, it's gonna be the ruler of B, and I think it should be happy with that. B's not bad. B is good. It's the best of the good. A is great, and S is so good, it's dirty. All right, Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I really enjoyed this one too. I thought it was a very charming, minimal fantasy romance tale, and I'm gonna put that probably just below Royal Assassin, and put it. No, I'm gonna put it below Skin Game, and put it just above Assassin's Apprentice. That's where I'll leave that boy right there, or girl. I don't know what that book wants to be called, but it's going there. And that's a solid placement. I really liked that showcase from V.E. Schwab because everyone kept telling me she's a great author, you'll love her work, and it was finally nice to see the potential I knew was there realized. So nice. That's nice. Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter. One of my favorite authors currently working, not only because he's a really nice guy every time I've talked with him, but he's writing something different here that stands out and is super fast-paced, very enjoyable. And I think I'm going to put Fires of Vengeance right there with Peace Talks, definitely in that A tier. So much personality, so much passion. It's not the deepest story ever. It's not the most like convoluted plot. It's not the most intricate fantasy world, but it's just rock solid, in my opinion, on all fronts. And while I could be labeled as blunt, I think that's kind of the point in many ways. It's supposed to be following this single track minded character who has such a hard time developing. That's part of his character and his development. Immortals of Miluha. I did not like this one that much. This is going to be a D tier for me, unfortunately. I really wanted to like it more. It just did not live up to what I was expecting, and it was an interesting read. I'll give it that, and I can see me actually recommending it to some people who are also kind of looking for that entry point to this culture through fantasy in the way I have been, but I can't put it any higher than that. Now we have Abaddon's Gate, which I thought was definitely a step down from Leviathan Wakes, but not bad. The Expanse has never been bad, not even close. Probably gonna put this A, just low A. Okay, there might actually need to be some rearranging real quick. Buckle up, buckaroos. So I'm gonna bring Gideon the Ninth a little higher, and I'm actually gonna bring Abaddon's Gate up there as well. I'm gonna put it right with Assassin's Apprentice. I don't know how I feel about that either. The Burning God. Man, I felt the feels with this one, and I think Rebecca Kwong so totally realized her vision. There was just one final moment in this book I did not love, but overall I thought it was a total home run for the ending of this series. The criticisms are there for this story, and people are going to have them, but I think in terms of author accomplishing what they wanted to accomplish, few have done it as well as Rebecca Kwong did here, and I so respect her motivations in crafting this dark story. So for me, this is probably going to go high A. I think this is going to be right around that Neuromancer. Yeah, we're going to do that. And now I'm happier with this. So we're putting Sandman above Dark Tower and then the Burning God. Yeah, that's... but Assassin's Quest is so good. Okay, I'm going to bring Assassin's Quest up there. This is going to get complicated. Hopefully you guys can tell what books are here. Can you? Probably not. All right, we'll go over it at the end. Don't worry. Next up, we have Harrow the Ninth. I did not enjoy as much as Gideon the Ninth because there were just very much so communications between reader and author. And that makes it difficult. But the ending, that ending. Is it worth the 2/3 that are a struggle, though? Because of that, I think I have to put it low B with a lot of respect on that name. I'm putting respect on that name, but I'm going a lot on enjoyment here. And my enjoyment was hampered by the fact that the first 2/3 of the book, I was kind of just left going, what's happening? Jade War. I think I'm going to surprise some people with this. I'm putting top of S tier right now. Jade War for me is one of the most, Jade City I've softened on a little bit. I still think it's outstanding, but I think after especially reading the sequel, I went, oh no, it gets better from here. So for me, Jade War is top. It's probably the best book I've read this year, unless I forgot something that's about to pop in. Jade War, good God, that was wonderful. Across the board, Fonda Lee just technically hit every point she needed to, but there was no soul lost in the process. This still very much so felt like a pure and rich tale. Sometimes if everything is so technically done, it can detract in some ways from the things that plotters use and pantsers gain, but I don't know exactly what Fonda Lee's writing process is like, but whatever it is, keep doing what you're doing, because this is a 10 out of 10 for me. I think Jade War is a book I wouldn't change a sentence of. Golden Sun, the redeemer of Red Rising for me, because I did not love the first book that much when I read it last year, but this year, I really liked Golden Sun, and it's propelling me forward in this series. So I'm actually going to put this right, I think, above Neuromancer. I think that's actually the spot I'm feeling for it. It's a brutal story, and it does justice to the potential the first book only hinted at, with having an author who uses a gorgeous vocabulary to just stick your head in a bucket of Red Rising and you're not allowed to come up. You're gonna choke to death and drown in this. I don't know where I'm going now, but we're moving on. Axioms End. This was a fine execution, and it was nothing really special while being kind of messy and themeless, unfortunately. So I'm going to put this just above The Girl in the Stars And that's mostly because of Lindsay Ellis's personality coming through, her humor. That did a lot of the lifting that otherwise would have just not gotten accomplished with Axioms end. But I am very excited to see where this author goes next, and I will say from a first effort, it's quite commendable. Anathema! Probably the driest thing I read this year. Talk about people who need to have a very specific taste to enjoy this book, but a extremely enjoyable book if you have that taste. Anathema is a sci-fi epic purely. Like, it is pure sci-fi, and it's on an epic scale. Just above Seven Blades in Black, just below Song of Susanna. I think that's is Song of Susanna that low for me? No, Song of Susanna goes higher. I'm gonna put Song of Susanna like there. Yeah, that's better. Upon a Burning Throne, a solid epic fantasy book in my opinion that just suffered from some personal taste issues from me, and not the strongest writing I've come across, but still worth checking out for quite a few people. And I will probably put just the bottom of B for now, but I am going to let it kind of enter into that B category because the amount of beautiful world building and cultural richness that really comes out of that page there. And as you guys know, I love me some culture in my stories. The Original by Mary Robinette Kowal and Brandon Sanderson. This is a fun novella, and it is one that is just so well built. God, that's rock solid right there. I'm going to put it probably just above Peace Talks. No, I liked Peace Talks more because it's a novella. So if I'm going off enjoyment, I just like a book that has more pages because I get more drawn into it. But that's such a good novella, though. For respect of building the world they did so well within such a constrained page count, I'm going to give it the respect, put it above Peace Talks, but I think I did enjoy Peace Talks more. I'm giving it its due, because also it's a collaboration I just geek out over. It's a really cool collaboration between two amazing authors. All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Murderbot, Book 1. That is going to be another S tier for me. I have now read all of Murderbot, but I haven't reviewed them, so they can't be in this tier list yet, and it's an obsession. Murderbot, a concept I've seen before of having an anxious, depressed robot with human tendencies and personality, but I don't think I ever realized quite as vividly as this, and that's, there's advantages here. It's the perspective of the robot in first person that's going to lend to this idea coming more out of the page than we've seen like depressed robots that are side characters before, but I don't know, I just never would have thought this would have worked out as well as it has. It's actually the series that inspired me to start my own fantasy books with novellas. So that's why you're getting a novella from me first thing, because I saw how outstandingly Martha Wells utilized having a novella to establish character and world, and I went, that's genius. I'm gonna do that. Rhythm of War, my most controversial review by far. People saying I was too nice, too mean, people saying they loved it, and I've identified flaws that were not there, people saying they hated it, and I ignored a bunch of flaws. It's almost like book reviews are subjective. I'm going to go ahead and say that this earns a low A for me because it's still freaking Stormlight Archive. There's still outstanding character work going on and really interesting world things. It just had some narrative elements I didn't love, and there were a couple character things I didn't love. So I'm going to go ahead and put this just above Assassin's Apprentice. And remember, I'm weighting this more so for just raw enjoyment. And I think that's a good spot. I think I appreciate it sitting right there, and that doesn't feel wrong to me. The Crippled God. Man, if you had told me a while ago I would have enjoyed the ending of Malazan as much as I did this one, I don't think I would have believed you. I would have turned my nose up and went, impossible. But that's one of my favorite epic fantasy endings I've come across, and I'm probably going to put it just above Changes. That was a hell of an outing from Steven Erikson, and such a conclusion that series earned. That series needed that quality, that level of ending, and I feel very catharsisized with Malazan as a whole, and it kind of makes me almost not want to pick up more Malazan books, because I'm so complete with it, but I'm going to, don't worry, I will eventually. Ready Player 2. I never thought we'd see the day. I thought I invented a whole category for Fifth Sorceress that we'd never have to pay attention to. It was just reserved for Fifth Sorceress. But Ready Player 2 came in like a hero and went, no, your expectations were wrong. There is a plot twist. Ready Player 2, you also get the category of no. 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 But you're not the lowest no, so that's good for you. Battleground. I preferred Peace Talks, but Battleground was just as interesting in my opinion. It kind of just, it was written to be one. It felt like that. This is one story, so I'm just going to put that in A as well. The Trouble with Peace. I adored this. I'm going to put it right up here with some other Abercrombie. Do I think it should stay? Okay, so here's how I'm going to rearrange this. Sword of Kagan will go down. That stays there. Sword of Kagan still above Dragonbone Chairs. That's awesome for that. And I think I like Best Served Cold more the more I've sat on it. I loved Best Served Cold, but Trouble with Peace was I'm so invested in the new era of First Law now. Yeah, I'll be okay with that. We'll go through again at the end, don't worry. All right, Dust of Dreams. That was also another Malazan I quite liked, and I think definitely is going to earn A for me. I'll put it probably just here above Gideon the Ninth. Dune! Never thought I'd like Dune as much as I did coming in this year. I really didn't like it the first time I read it, but the second time I definitely identified why this is so popular. I'm probably going to put it right above Rhythm of War. That's just my personal placement, and that's all right. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars is one I liked kind of for the flash and concept, but the more I've digested and sat with the story and some of the more messy parts of it, it's definitely sunken down. It's probably right there on that Furies of Calderon vibe with me, where I see a lot of potential, but I'm more just like waiting to see where it's going to go, and that's an okay place to be. Paolini's definitely got me still hooked, though, as a reader, and I'm very curious to see where he's going to go. And we're going to end this tier list in terms of adding things on with The Magicians. By Lev Grossman. This is a super enjoyable read. I don't understand the level of hate I've seen for it online. I don't know how else to put that. I think I'm going to put Magicians just above Fires of Vengeance here. Some people are saying it's just like angstier Harry Potter. I don't get what you're reading. Yeah, there's a wizard school element, but come here. Harry Potter doesn't own the concept of wizard schools. There were wizard schools before Harry Potter, and there will be wizard schools after Harry Potter. Just because something has wizard school in it doesn't mean it should inevitably be compared to Harry Potter and shouldn't be called the blank version of Harry Potter. I don't know. That just kind of bugs me for some reason. But I loved the character work and the actual realization of what depression can look like and not just letting it fade away or go away. I misinterpreted the ending of this book, but I got into that in the review. I didn't know there were sequels. So yeah, I'm going to put it right there. Now let's do some cleanup. Let's go through and reorganize here. I'm going to drop Tigana down below Crippled God. I've seen some reviews that pointed some things out that I was like, wow, I really didn't consider that, and maybe I need to reread that one. I still love it. Oh, I still love it, because Guy Gavriel Kay's prose are just like honey in your eyes, because you're not listening to them, sure. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there still. Crippled God definitely deserves to be in top 5 of the books I've read in the year total. Changes, still changes. Leviathan Wakes, I'm confident with that there. All Systems Red, it's a novella, so I don't feel like I can push it over Leviathan Wakes. That would just feel wrong. I like having Jade City and Jade War leading A and S. That feels appropriate. Best Served Cold, Trouble with Peace, Sword of Kagan, Dragon Mode Chair, Heroes, Three Body Problem, Golden Sun, Neuromancer. I think I'm going to put Neuromancer above Golden Sun. Just by a smidge, and it's because I'm a sucker for atmosphere and world, and I think Neuromancer still has the edge there, while Golden Sun did an exquisite job of still those exact things. Assassin's Quest, Sandman, nah, I'm going to leave that there. Dark Tower, Burning God, Royal Assassin, Skin Game, Visible Life Value, Dune. I'm going to bring Dune up here by Burning God. That feels a little better there. All right. Rhythm of War. I'm going to bring that above Abyssal Life, Valley LaRue. Assassin's Apprentice, that's still there. Assassin's Apprentice is the weakest of the Farseer trilogy, so I like that I have this in the order I do, because it's like bang, bang, bang. Bad and Gate, Magicians, Fires of Vengeance, Dust of Dreams, Gideon the Ninth, the original, Peace Talks, Battleground. Yeah, that's a good one right there. That's good. That's good. Heaven's River, liked it a lot. Bloody Rose, definitely liked it a lot. Do I want to bump that up? I like Bloody Rose more. I like Song of Susanna more. I liked White Knight more. I'm a defender of White Knight and Ghost. I know they're not the most popular Dresden stories. I like them quite a bit, so you're wrong if you disagree. The Night Tides, House of Chains, those are both going above Heaven's River. I'm sorry, Heaven's River. I did not mean to do this to you. I liked you a lot. Malice goes above Heaven's River. Cold Days goes above Heaven's River. Anathem goes above Heaven's River. Oopsie. I think some of these Malazans should be higher, but I can't remember them, and I'm not going to rewatch all of my reviews or look at my notes. I'd have to dig them out of a box. Sorry. Harrow of the Ninth, yeah. Upon a Burning Throne. Furies of Calderon. Sleep in a Sea of Stars. Caliban's War is better than that. That needs to be bumped up to at least there. Yeah. Scythe, that's good. If It Bleeds, that's fine. I wish I could separate out those stories for If It Bleeds, because some of them deserve to be jacked up and some of them deserve to be lower. Forgetting Moon, yep. Axioms In, that's cool. Girl in the Stars, yeah, I just didn't feel the soul there, man. Hounded, Lars Merluha, Six of Crows, Nevernight. I'm going to do that. Yeah, and ID after that. So that tells you something. Ready Player 2 and Fifth Sorceress. This is it! This is my year of 2020 reading! All laid out for you in a beautiful, beautiful tier list. I will have it linked down below so you can fill out your own version if you've read many of these. And just put the ones you haven't read in no, meaning like you didn't read them. And that's fine. I'll know. We'll know. It's fine. We'll keep each other in the loop here. And I'm excited to see yours versions. Love all of you. Thank you so much for this year in my career because it has been life-changing. I'm happy for the first time as an adult. Thank you for that. And like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. And have a good one, y'all. Peace.